And we're back for part 7 of the Velocidrone track editor guide series. This video is just going to cover some finishing touches to complete before publishing our track. First thing on the agenda is to delete these cones we used at the start to mark out our track. This is quite simple, we can just simply select each of them and press the delete key. Of course, be careful when selecting them not to accidentally delete any gates, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. The next thing it's important to check is that none of the respawn points are underneath the ground or inside of other objects. The easiest way to check this is to just simply press F9 and fly the track, crashing after each gate. For this track, it's not such a big deal to check it, but especially for tracks that have dive gates, which tend to very easily put their respawn points underneath the ground, it is important to check these, so pilots don't accidentally get stuck underground, unable to return to the track. The next thing I want to talk about is recharge gates. There are two types of recharge gates within Velocidrone. They are both found within the Gates folder of the asset library near the bottom. We first have the orange recharge gate and the blue recharge gate. Now in single class 3-lap races or any non-relay race within Velocidrone, these will act exactly the same, minus their color difference. But in a relay race, the orange recharge gate will end one pilot's turn and put the next pilot in line up to fly, while the blue recharge gate will simply just recharge your battery, doing nothing else. While GQ tracks don't tend to include recharge gates, many other types of Velocidrone tracks do, so in the spirit of learning, I'm just going to add one so you guys can see how it's best done. Firstly, I tend to just use the blue recharge gate 100% of the time, since the locations I like to put my recharge gates wouldn't really work in a relay race anyway. So let's delete the yellow one. Now there's two main places I like to add my recharge gates. The first place is a little bit off the track line, so pilots have to take a detour to obtain the recharge. And the second way is just to add it to the start-finish gate. This can be a little bit challenging if you want to conceal the recharge gate within the start-finish gate, but very possible. So just keep that in mind when designing your tracks. Okay, now that I've covered recharge gates, I want to cover spectator cameras. They can be found in the Tools folder of the Asset Library, and they're the third option here. Spectator cameras can be moved around just like any other object in Velocidrone, and how they essentially work is when you're in a race and you're spectating, you can press the S key to move into a third-person spectator mode. Then from there, you can use the arrow keys to cycle between each of the spectator cameras to watch the race from. That's why I think it's always best to try to put your spectator cameras somewhere high where you can get a good view of the track. Obviously, I doubt anyone's going to be wanting to spectate a GQ in Velocidrone, but especially for those big, grand tracks, spectator cameras can be a really nice addition to add to the streamability or spectatability of your track. One thing to keep in mind is the orientation of the spectator camera doesn't really matter, as they will just track whichever pilot you have selected at that time, so I wouldn't stress too much about orienting your spectator cameras a certain way. And with that being said, I think this will be the end of the video. Our GQ track is pretty much done now. I can't think of anything else we'd need to do to it. But if I do think of anything else that's important within the Velocidrone track editor, I'll be sure to make another video. Yeah, awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch ya.